everyone, good afternoon. It is Sarah Shipton here from Scrapbooking with Sarah, and I'm coming live to you today on Tuesday the 4th of February 2025 with my Technique Tuesday tips this week with your scrapbooking challenge, your weekly scrapbooking challenge. This is the first weekly scrapbooking challenge that I am doing for February, and I am just loving creating with the new scrapbooking workshop kits. There is Miss Mel. Hi Mel, thanks so much for joining us today. It's great to see you live. Would you believe, actually no, I'm not going to ask you that question. I know that you guys know the answer to this. Can you believe that I have managed to create a travel scrapbooking layout using leftovers from my meant to be scrapbooking workshop kit? There is not a bumblebee in sight, but there is some beautiful pattern paper, and this is one of my, I think it probably is the favorite color in the Stampin' Up range. This is called Pool Party, and it is one of the featured colors in the meant to be paper suite. So I am teaching with this scrapbooking workshop kit and this paper suite for the whole month of February, and you can see we've got these beautiful colors down the bottom of page 2 there. Miss Laurie has joined us. Hi Laurie, it's great to see you live, and also Pauline from Canberra. Hello ladies, good afternoon. So these gorgeous colors down the bottom here, we've got Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, Pool Party, Petunia Pop, Bubble Bath. Can you see my bubble bath nails that I have got today? Freshly done this morning, mind you. And also Basic Black. So I have created 3 double page layouts using the meant to be scrapbooking workshop kit. I'm going to share these layouts with you shortly. These 3 photos that you see here are marketing graphics, so these are not my photographs. I do love to create the scrapbooking workshop kit every month and then share my photos with you all. So I have already created these 3 double page layouts, and then you're going to see me do some more layouts during February using the Cute as Can Be designer series paper with the coordinating color cardstock. I do have some leftover stickers from my scrapbooking workshop kit, so you will see me doing some creating with those particular products during the remainder of February. But for the first layout, I've actually used some of the leftover designer series paper that comes in the scrapbooking workshop kit. One of the things I love about the scrapbooking workshop kits is that it has the close to the exact amount of products that you need, so there's not wastage. The kits are designed to be consumed versus collecting product, and the kits also have some exclusive paper. Now you will know the color, you'll know which paper is exclusive because you'll have pattern paper on one side or the designer series paper on one side, and on the opposite side the paper will be blank. Okay, so then that indicates that it is exclusive paper in your scrapbooking workshop kit. And when I use the scrapbooking workshop kit, it comes with an instructional guide here. You can see that the scrapbooking workshop kit uses this exclusive pattern paper here with the flowers, and you've got some leftover exclusive paper here. So these grey squares indicate what we're going to use on the layouts, and then this leftover space here is paper that we don't use, okay, on the layouts for the scrapbooking workshop kit. So I have used them on my layout for the week 1 challenge for February. Chris has joined us as well. Hi Chris, good afternoon. Thanks so much for being here. It's lovely to see you. Okay, so let's talk about the pattern I have used today. Now, this is the last pattern from Make It From Your Heart Volume 2. This is a how-to pattern book that I used during my time as a maker with Close to My Heart. And as you can see here, these layout instructions and these patterns are ones that you can use again and again and again in your scrapbooking projects. As you can see here, this was a single page layout, and what I have done here is cut my papers twice to then recreate it as a double page layout. So you've got your base paper here. So I've used Pool Party, and you can see here that I've actually cut out, in this instance where I'm covering another sheet of cardstock or pattern paper over the top of my base page, and the majority of it's been covered, I do often cut out, in this case I've cut out a 10 inch by 10 inch square. So I'm just left with this border of Pool Party. And in fact, the leftover paper that I've cut out, I've actually been able to use here on the left hand and the right hand side of my layout to cut my photo mats for my photos. So you've got 2 sheets of your base for your layout. So I have used the 12 by 12 inch Pool Party. This is tone on tone, and I have used the lighter side. So you can just see here, I've still got my layouts in the memory protectors. I'm going to take them out shortly, but I've got them in the memory protectors because I've used flip flaps on my layouts today, and I want to talk to you about those because the flip flaps that I have used are actually in the last chance section of my website, Last Chance Products, which used to be called the clearance rack. Okay, so I will take them out of the memory protector shortly. So you can see the two-tone here. I have used the lighter side of the two-tone in Pool Party, just so it's not super bright. So you've got 2 base pages, 12 by 12. You're going to need 2 of the same sheets of paper, which you're going to cut at 11 by 11 inches. And then that square is going to go right in the middle. And then on the outside of each of my layouts here, that's where I've used the strip of my leftover paper. That's been cut at 12 inches by 3.5. So 2 strips at 3.5 inches. And that's allowed me to have 3 by 3 inch photos running down the outside of my layout. And then I have also cut, which you don't see here, because the layout is designed for, or the pattern shows the photos going straight onto your 3.5 inch strip of paper. However, I have matted my photos because I've used pattern paper for this strip running down the outsides. Having that mat underneath it just helps to break it up a bit. Okay, so if it was maybe like a solid color of cardstock, I may not have matted them, and you can see it has left like a very thin border where you don't really see a whole heap of the pattern paper. But by matting my photo with some cardstock underneath, it just helps to make my photo pop on that really busy pattern paper with the florals on there. So I have cut my photos at 3 by 3 inches, and then I've cut my photo mats at 3.25 by 3.25 inches, and I have matted my photos. Now you can see here that I have used a flip flap on both of the outside of my pages. So I love this. How many photos have we got? We've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 photos on a double page layout. Now, as you can see here, the 3 photos were meant to be running just through this strip of paper, and then you've got this very decorative part here on the scrapbook layout. This is another example here. I have actually put the instructions in the scrapbooking group because I've ended up with this space here. So instead of filling that with decorative paper, I've actually just cut extra photos down at 3 by 4 inches, and then I have created kind of like a little collage here. So I've left a very thin section between where each of the photos meet. I would say that's probably 1/8. So that's 1/4 inch. I've left about 1/8 of an inch between the photos. I typically will put one on and then I just eyeball it. I don't get too fussy with the measurements. You can see here I've left about 1/2 an inch between the white border here. I would have put these photos in between the middle of this white bit of cardstock here where the pattern paper meets, and then where my base page, my layer is. So I would have eyeballed that between here and here, and through the middle there I would have stuck one down, laid them out and stuck one down, and then I've just popped the other ones there. So a really great way to get lots of photos on your layout. And you can see that I've used the flip flap. So this is a 3 by 3 inch flip flap, and these are currently on sale at the moment. They are in the Last Chance products section of my website. I have actually put a link directly to that section of my website in our Facebook group this morning. I will also post links to all of the products that I'm sharing with you today in the comment section after I load this video to our group. So the flip flap has stuck on over the top. If you're not familiar with flip flaps, this is a self-adhering pocket. It's made with the same product, the quality, as the memory protector that I have slid my scrapbook layout into. You can see here that the flip flap sticks on over the top of the memory protector. So the flip flap is designed for a 3x3 inch photo. So I have got one photo in the back here, and then on the top I've got a 3x3 inch square of cardstock, and then I've cut down my journal box using the white willow paper. This would have been cut at, if that's 3x3, my journaling box would be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I've ruled some lines using my T-square ruler, and I have used the Stampin' Write markers today to do my journaling. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today. This is my tip and technique for you today, introducing the Stampin' Write markers into your scrapbooking layout. So I've ruled the lines. I've used the color Petunia Pop, which is this purple here, and because that was one of the colors that coordinates with that paper suite, I decided to use these photos. These were taken in Ubud, which is in Bali in Indonesia, and I've gone with the Pool Party and the Petunia Pop and the Old Olive as my color scheme because I've got these beautiful purple flowers here. There's obviously lots of greenery and lots of blues from the trees, and this beautiful jungle rainforest, and the blue from the infinity pool. So all I've done here is just selected colors from the meant to be paper suite. We've got Old Olive, Pool Party, and also Petunia Pop. Okay, so with what else was I going to tell you then? With the journaling using Petunia Pop, I'll demonstrate this to you after. Let's take this out of the flip flap now. So you can see that's just stuck on over the top there. So I do like to slide my layout into the memory protector first, and then I line up my flip flap over the top and stick that over the top. So that's got extra photos here. I'm going to take this one out. So in terms of the embellishing, I have used a combination of both Close to My Heart products and also Stampin' Up products on my layout. So the stickers that you see here are from a previous scrapbooking workshop kit that we had when I was with Close to My Heart. So this was called Summer Vibes. I had some leftover stickers from Summer Vibes. And then I have also used the coordinating Summer Vibes scrapbooking stamp and thin cut set. So this is where I've got the sunglasses from, and the palm leaf, and also the little thongs, or if you are in the US, you call them flip-flops. We call them thongs, not to be confused with underwear, which I know that's what you guys call thongs. But I've used these stamps and thin cuts here, and I have just stamped some of my leaves in Old Olive. I've stamped the thongs in Petunia Pop, and then I've stamped the sunglasses in Pool Party. So when I'm using a stamp set and a coordinating die cut set, I just typically stamp a whole heap of images in those coordinating colors, and then I just run them through my die cutting machine. In this instance here, you can see I have done first and second generation stamping. So I've stamped this palm leaf once with Old Olive, and then I've re-stamped it a second time, but not re-inked it in between. And this is how you get a lighter shade of the same ink color, and that looks quite effective. These palm frond stickers were left over from my Summer Vibes scrapbooking workshop kit, so I've been able to use all of them up. And then this bubble sticker, the border sticker, there was 2 of them at 12 inches. I've actually cut that in half, And then I've lined up my sticker border right up against this pattern paper. And this is why I've done embellishment clusters on the inside corners of both of my layouts, because the sticker didn't extend all of the way. So that's a little tip there for you. Don't be afraid to cut stickers up or use leftovers of stickers, and if they don't quite fit where you need them to, this is where an embellishment cluster works really well, where you can actually just pop them over the gaps and you can fill that space in. And in this instance, I've also used the Stampin' Dimensionals, and that just helps to add some pop to my stickers and also my pre-stamped shapes and die cuts as well. So what else did I want to share with you? Oh, okay. On this side of the layout here, where I didn't have another photo, I could have put a photo there, but instead I opted for a flip flap, and I ended up using this square as like my title or my embellishment cluster. So I've got this sticker, this beautiful palm leaf sticker with the word chill on it, which I've used some Stampin' Dimensionals to stick that up. I've just put that on a little bit of an angle, and you can see here I've used some of my leftover designer series paper from my scrapbooking workshop kit. I think that one, oh no, that's not exclusive paper. So this is a cute little technique if you want to create an embellishment cluster or bring in another sheet of pattern paper to coordinate with another one that you've used, and then you can see that becomes quite a focal point there. Now the little gems I've used, you guys are going to love this, because you know that I love to show you ways that you can kind of like cross-reference your product, or you know, pair them up from paper suite to paper suite. These are actually the Opal Rounds assortments from the Mediterranean Blooms paper suite. So I did some Mediterranean Blooms layouts in December, and as you can see, I've used the gems that were Night of Navy, and the yellow was, off the top of my head, I want to say it was Daffodil Delight. I had all these clear ones left over. Well, hello, clear goes with anything, right? So this is totally cool. You can take embellishments from one paper suite and pair it up with another paper suite, and it just looks super cool. So the embellishments that coordinate with Meant to Be are these cute little bumblebees. You won't find them in the scrapbooking brochure. There are actually some tiny bee trinkets in the January mini catalogue, and I'm going to share that with you in a moment, how I've used those little bumblebees on my scrapbooking workshop kit layout. So I needed to bling it up. You girls know that I love the bling. I love to put my embellishment clusters in groups of 2 or 3, and then put some little gems or bling, some dots. These are self-adhering, so all I have to do is peel them off the backing sheet and stick them down in little groups. And you can see on top of my journal box here as well, I've made a little, let's take this out of the sleeve so you can see that a little bit better. I've made, with my journal box, I've got a stamped palm leaf here, and I've just put a couple of the little opal assortments on there as well. Okay, so you can also embellish your journal boxes, and when that's obviously in my album like that, you will see this on top of the flip flap there. So I love that. I love that you can mix and match your products from different paper suites in and across. I am really loving the search function on my website as well. So when I go to create something, I might type in the word pool party, and everything that coordinates with that particular color will actually come up in the search function. So I can scroll through. I even have got some of the pool party pom-pom ribbon left over. This is also on the last chance products list on my website. This is where I really love coordinating different products against from different paper suites with each other by just simply using that search function that's on my website. I went through and typed in each of the colors, so like Daffodil Delight, and then it brought up all of the embellishments that had something in them that were that color. I do love to coordinate all of the colors, and so by simply using that search function, it will bring up products to help you. You might not find the right embellishments that you need, especially in this instance. The embellishments really were the stickers, and then of course you can purchase a stamp set with the coordinating dies, but I just love those little bling bits, and they just look so cool. So in that instance, I couldn't really find anything that coordinated well with those colors, so using clear or even anything that's silver or anything that's gold as well really goes with all of the paper suites. So they are my little tips for you in terms of the layout of the layout in terms of the layout of, well, I lost my train of thought there, girls. Who else has joined us? Sue's on. Hi, Sue. How are you? Happy Tuesday. So they're my little tips for you for the layout. Let's talk now about the Stampin' Write markers. So I'm really enjoying creating with the Stampin' Write markers. When I transitioned over from Stampin' Up, this is their black Stampin' Write marker. So it's a basic black. It's got two ends. You've got a 0.5 mil end, and then you've got this thicker end as well, which is great if you want to do like a calligraphy style. For those of you that invested in, there was like a journaling book that we had with Close to My Heart. I actually never bought it, but I know some of you bought that, and that was to teach you how to do like letter writing or really like purposeful art journaling as well. So that's where these Stampin' Write markers would be super handy for you. So I have been journaling with this basic black Stampin' Write marker. It's the 0.5 mil end is thicker than like a fine tip journal pen that we have used previously. So I guess my suggestion to you with this is just to be not so heavy handed with the journaling, because it is a marker. It kind of does come out a little thicker, but as you can see here, I've got my scrapbooking handwriting, and then I have my grocery shopping list handwriting. So for example, this is my just my rushed handwriting. I've got everyone's names here in a bucket to do my drawer for January shortly. Now look at this. You would not even think that is the same person writing, okay? So when you have got a really good set of markers and you are being super diligent and patient with doing your journaling, quite often I have people say to me when they're doing their journaling with their scrapbooking, I hate my handwriting, or my handwriting is not neat. And I just would say to you that your stories, like, you know, you will hear me bang on a lot about journaling and how important journaling is in your scrapbooking by putting that story here. You will hear me talk about that a lot. And I think that there are certainly times where typing up your journaling is great, especially if you're doing like a holiday album and you've got like almost like diary entries that you want to input for your scrapbooking. But can I just tell you, I haven't got that layout here in front of me. I have got a Christmas layout in my album, which has my maternal grandmother's handwriting on it. It was my very first Christmas in 1977, and I had one of the original gift tags that was stuck on a present for my first Christmas. It's in her handwriting in lead pencil, and it has my name, Sarah Jane, on the Christmas tag. It is probably one of the very few items that I have that has something with my grandmother's handwriting on it. I have letters from her later in life, but she was unwell towards the end of her life, and so her handwriting as she was older was not like the handwriting when I was like a baby at my first Christmas. So I would say to you that we care more about what our handwriting looks like as opposed to the people that are going to read your album, that are going to be gifted your album. Oh, my daughter has joined. Perfect timing, Kayla. Welcome. And how funny is this? She is currently on holidays in beautiful Bali. And here we are where I have scrapbooked a layout of the last time. Actually, this wasn't the last time. It was the time before last. But I was actually in Bali together with Kayla. and my husband Darren and her fiance EJ. These photos were taken in June of 2023, and we shared a beautiful holiday with Darren and Kayla's fiance EJ to celebrate their 50th and 30th birthdays. So I love that you are now watching this from Bali, and I'm sharing my Bali scrapbook layout with you, Kayla. I hope you are having a wonderful time so far. So coming back to my journaling, let's talk about the fact that one day, like, I'm not going to live forever, right? But how beautiful is it that my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren and many generations to come are going to have these albums full of photos of our family, but also with my handwriting, their grandmothers, their great-grandmothers' handwriting in for years to come. So I love that you love my Bali layout, Kayla. I love my Bali layout too. I love it, love it, love it. It makes me so happy. Like, just looking at my photos, it brings me so much gratitude and so much happiness. And you know what, guys? This is exactly why I scrapbook. So I would say to you, please do not get hung up on your handwriting, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. But obviously, if you are being patient and diligent with your handwriting, I promise you that the rewards and the effort will be worth it. And no one cares what your handwriting looks like. We care more about that than what other people do. I promise you, your handwriting will be nostalgic and give thoughts and feelings to other people when they see your handwriting, for sure. I hope that you can back me up with that little story there, Miss Kayla. So I am using the Stampin Write 2024 to 2026 in colour markers. There are 5 of these in a set. I'm just going to grab, actually, let's get them all out. These are a colour family. So for those of you that transitioned across from Close to My Heart with me, I want you to think of the Stampin' Up! In Colours very much like what we had with Close to My Heart, which was called Colour of the Year, okay? Now, you will find all your in colours in your annual catalogue at the very back on pages 139. These are all your different in colours. So we have got Pretty in Pink, we've got Peach Pie, we have Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, and also Petunia Pop. And then you'll see these are all the items of products that you can get in those in colours. And then you can then get them in the family or individually. And then I have invested in this 5-pack of these markers. I'm really enjoying journaling with coloured markers again, because for such a long time I really just used my fine tip black journaling pen, which is very boring. So you can also get 10 packs of the markers, which come in their family. The 5-pack in Australia retails for $31.25. If you bought a 10-pack, that works out to be $6.25 a marker. So I think they're really great value, especially considering they are double-sided. So I'm just going to write my name here, okay, with the fine tip, and then again with the calligraphy tip. And you can see obviously the thickness and the width in those. So the marker, it does come out thicker than a fine tip journaling pen, but I think that if you are just not heavy-handed with it, I think you'll find that you'll be really happy with the end result in incorporating these coloured markers into your journaling. So I just want to give you some information about the colour markers as well. They do have a water-based dye ink inside the pen. The dual-tipped pen, as I mentioned, you've got a fine tip here, and then you've also got a flexible brush tip. You can also use these markers to colour stamped images. So you could stamp, that would work really well if you've got something that could be coloured in. So for example, this stamp here that's got this wave here, you could actually colour the inside of that with maybe the summer splash there. So that's where that would be super handy. using markers to color your stamped images. You can also color directly onto your stamps in multiple colors. So you would pop your stamp on your block, take the lid off your markers. Maybe the brush tip would work better for that because it's thicker. So you would be able to color the stamp quicker. You then breathe onto the stamp just to refresh the ink, and then you would stamp your image onto your cardstock, okay? You can also use the marker ink for watercoloring using this brush tip on the end here. So you would scribble ink onto a clear block, so one of your Stampin' blocks, and then you would pick up the ink using a water painter or even a blender pen as well. And then of course you can draw details using the fine tip end as well. And in fact, that's actually why I'm sharing the markers with you today, because the optional artistic technique with the scrapbooking workshop kit was actually to add pen art. So when you invest in a scrapbooking workshop kit, there'll be a featured technique that you can do. This one is adding details with the Stampin' Write markers. So that is an optional purchase. You would need to buy the 5 set of your markers on top of your scrapbooking workshop kit. And then as you go through the kit and you're following the instructions, it will actually tell you where you're going to do the optional artistic technique in part of the written instructions. So here it says to adhere the bee sticker and then draw a dotted line behind it using the Petunia Pop marker. So I'm just going to share these 3 scrapbooking layouts with you, and then I'm going to show you where I have done the pen art. And people think that that would be really tricky, but can I tell you, like, guys, you got this, right? You've absolutely got this. So this is layout number 3. I have used photos from some time that we had together in London. Let's take this layout out of its sleeve. So you can see here we've stuck this bumblebee sticker on here, and then I've used the Petunia Pop marker just to do some pen art to make this super cute little trail behind the bee to make him look like he's flying. And this is where earlier I was talking about using the little tiny bee trinkets. These are actually in the January catalogue, and they coordinate with the Floral Delight paper suite. You can see here that I've used them on my layout. I've actually stuck them on using some mini glue dots. You could also use your fine tip glue pen to stick them on, but I found that the mini glue dots worked really quickly and really easily. So I've got pen art for my little bumblebee there, and on the left hand side here we've done some pen art coming down the bottom of the page. Miss Emily has joined us. Hi Emily, it's great to see you today. Layout number 2, which is called Beautiful Life. There is no pen art on this one with the bumblebees, but I have used my Petunia Pop Stampin' Write marker to do my journaling, again coordinating. These photos were taken in Singapore, and we do belong together. We had a wonderful stopover in Singapore on the way to London and shared a hotel room with our son. So this color was actually in the hotel room. I think it looks fantastic with these photos. And these are the beautiful indoor waterfall and rainforest gardens in Changi Airport in Singapore. So the little bees look super cute there. So thinking outside the square, right? I mean, like, there are so many opportunities that I could scrapbook. Well, I don't have any photos of bees, but, you know, like this could be maybe like garden photos or outdoors photos. But I have chose to scrapbook London and use my little bee papers for here. This layout, Better Together, is the last layout. You can see some pen art at the back of the bumblebee here. And then we've just popped some of those little bee trinkets on. Super cute. This one, I've done my pen art around the outside with my journaling. So this is one journaling bit here and then another journaling bit going around here. Okay, So that looks super cute. And then on this left-hand side of my layout, Better Together, that's got a flip flap on there. You're going to use one of your hexagons. I haven't ruled lines. I've just freestyled my journaling here. Again, using the Petunia Pop marker. And I've just made my handwriting a little bit smaller to fit all my journaling there in that hexagon journal box. A little bumblebee here, and we've done some pen art just at the back of the bumblebee and stuck some little trinkets on there. So I hope that you have enjoyed those little tips here. I'm just going to give you a quick, let's say that was the end of my little bumblebee here. Just little dots, and then obviously curving around depending on where you want your pen art to go on the outside of the page. There's not much in it at all, girls, but it does give you a really great effect using those Stampin' Write markers on your scrapbooking layouts. So I really hope that you have enjoyed my tips that I have shared with you today for this week's scrapbooking challenge. I can't wait to see what you create and posting your artwork in our Facebook group. I will put links to all the goodies that I've shared with you today. Have a great week, everyone, and be happy. Bye for now.